Welcome to the 27th round of WTSS Season 7. We're here at the Calder Park Thunderdome for this 1.1 mile speedway that has played host to the only right-hand turning oval on the WTSS calendar since day one. Championship importance is utmost in this race weekend, as it is one of the last chances at a double points offer for the field this season. Almost immediately, many drivers went out onto the racetrack knowing that this 10-minute session was going to be extremely crucial for their starting position in this event that offers double points and will also be important for track position as well. Setting the early pace in the first 3 to 4 minutes was Jeffrey Finguy in the 92. The Finguy Saitomi team have been extremely strong on the big speedways this season, and with them getting back-to-back victories on the last two speedways of the American Tour earlier this year, the 92 is going to be hoping to be aiming back to the top spot soon, hopefully tonight. At just about the halfway point of the session, a slightly unexpected name to be seen on the top of an oval qualifying session, William Duncan put his car on top with a lap time nearly a tenth and a half faster than the rest of the field to this point. The 66 car looking very strong in the opening minutes of the session, looking for Maverick Motorsports' third consecutive pole of the season. Championship leader Yuki Tamara entering this race with hopes of throwing a massive gap at her opponents. Put it down second fastest at this point in the session with just 2 minutes remaining. And with a double points on offer night, Tamara absolutely making everybody else have to work for their points as well if she starts on the front row. One title rival being Ryan Reid could not seem to get a clean lap in. Every single chance he got, he either got traffic or the car just was not handling up to snuff. And as the seconds wound down in the session, he could never find a lap inside of the top 20 to save his life. Every single time he tried, he could not do it. Our third of the title hopefuls at the top of the scoring, Chris Louviere put down the 7th fastest time and immediately dropped a cylinder out the engine of the number 83 car, and the Maverick reliability woes continued. But crucially, it was mere moments after setting a time good enough to put him up in the top 10 in the running order. But as the session concluded, it ended up being William Duncan in the number 66 car for Maverick Motorsports, putting it on the pole, Maverick's third consecutive pole with 3 different drivers over the last 3 rounds. With Yuki Tamara starting second, Chris Louviere starting 7th, and Ryan Reid starting back in 23rd, the championship picture has been blown wide open, with Tamara being given a huge opportunity to leave Calder Park with a massive points buffer with just 3 races remaining. Congrats to our surprise pole winner, William Duncan, on winning the pole in Calder Park. Let's get to the race. Welcome to the 27th round of WTSS Season 7. We're at the Calder Park Thunderdome for this 1.5 mile right-hand turn speedway in Australia. The second to last oval on the calendar and the second to last double points race in the championship. In qualifying, William Duncan put it on the pole for Maverick Motorsports, their third straight pole with 3 straight different drivers on the season now. Championship leader Yuki Tamara put herself on the front row with Duncan in a very important move to get herself a big chance at pulling ahead of her title rivals. 10 drivers come into this race with a mathematical chance at leaving with the point lead, as it is a double points event. Ryan Reid finds himself all the way back in the 19th position, while Chris Louviere finds himself in a much more manageable 8th place. Many other drivers scattered around through the field. 125 laps at Calder Park. It's going to be a very important event. We've seen many thrilling races in the past here in all 6 seasons of WTSS leading up to this one, but never have had a championship picture so close coming in. Yuki Tamara starts on the front row. Can she charge even further from the point lead? We'll just have to find out as the field will take on this 1.5 mile gauntlet. Let's get to the start. The pace car pulls in William Duncan and Yuki Tamara on the front row. The championship could be in the balance today. We're green at Calder Park. 125 laps is underway as we head right into turn number 1, and Tamara got a good jump on the outside of Duncan, keeps alongside for the preferred line through turns 1 and 2, and Yuki Tamara leads on the exit of turn 2. We've seen it happen in the past, the lead conversion happening from the outside lane into turn 1 before, and it's happened this year. Mitchell Mark peeks down the inside of the 60 though, and the man who started in 4th place is going to lead at the end of lap number 1 in a ridiculous move around the outside and then down the inside at turn 3. 3 wide at the back. Some drivers getting extremely close quarters on the entrance to turn 1 and on the exit of turn 2. Ryan Reid on the move, already up a couple positions, but Mitchell Mark with the advantage early on here at Calder Park. Multiple drivers jockeying for position behind. 3x3 down the front straightaway. Tristian Wilhoit making some important passes on that inside lane. 3 wide up ahead with championship contender Chris Louviere in the middle. They sort it out, and Louviere is actually going to make a position up on Scott Roush around the outside there.
Guy comes in following him, and he's going to go to the bottom.
And he carries the momentum underneath the 83. Guy goes through on 1, maybe 2 as he goes underneath Daniel Giroux. Big move. Almost 4 wide back here for some rows. Wilhoit's in the middle now with Stavinoha and Van Dalen. They nearly touched into turn 1, and Van Dalen on the inside actually gets the advantage there. Tamara not letting Mark get away. Those two starting to break away. William Duncan beginning to follow with. And Louviere will not quite clear Giroux yet, down to turn number 1. Giroux swings to the outside on the entrance from way back. Finds alongside the 83, but can he carry the momentum on the exit? Yes, he can, but the question is, can he clear down to turn 3? Louviere digs deep. Can he keep it inside? No, he can't. Tamara closing in even closer on Mitchell Mark out front. They broke even that lap as Duncan is defending from Jake Stevens for the 3rd position, as the 75 of James Gibson has lost a motor big time from the 17th place, and we're going to draw a caution in the opening few laps of this event. Field comes to start finish. Mitchell Mark the leader as the pace car pulls out of the pits. Big moment in this race, because already now it's no longer a straightforward drive until the fuel window strategy anymore. It's not enough laps, I don't think, to make any effect on tire strategy here, but some people at the back could absolutely give themselves a little bit of buffer with some fuel and some tires maybe. And the 8 of Chris Dodd, under caution, has blown a tire. Luckily for him, it's not at racing speed, so it's not going to cause any issues. But he'll have to peel down to the pits for emergency service. And an already tough qualifying begins with a tough start to the race for the 8 of Chris Dodd. Meanwhile, though, it's Mitchell Mark out in front of Yuki Tamara, William Duncan, Jake Stevens, Jeffrey Finguy, the top 5, Mitchell Carter, Daniel Giroux, Chris Louviere, Scott Roush, and Roberto Crown Jr., the top 10. Caution is out for James Gibson's engine failure. Let's get back to the restart. Under caution, coming to the restart on lap 9 of 130, championship leader Yuki Tamara's engine has gone up in smoke. The double points event she needed to get out a large margin on her title rivals. She's now going to be the one being margined out as the 60 comes into the pits in a plume of smoke as Mitchell Mark approaches the restart. We've got no more time to keep watching that 60 roll into the pits. The pace car pulls in, we're back underway, and I'm going to have to process what just happened in the dying moments of that yellow.
We were talking so much pre-race about how it could either go one way or the other massively, and it looks like it's just going to be Tamara that's on the bad end of it.
And look at Finguy down the inside, firing one down the inside of the 66 of William Duncan. Man, you just have to feel that's game over for the 60 on this race, and that's going to put them in a huge hole in the points. Because even if Ryan Reid finishes in the top 20, or at least the tail end of it, it's going to be a huge dent, because that's 2 points per position throughout that part of the field. Chris Louviere is going to be making absolute gains right now. Even though he's not gaining positions at the moment, he's in 8th place. The positions get more points per position the farther up the field you go. And it might even be a case where Tamara leaves this race maybe 3rd or 4th in points, depending on who finds themselves up towards the front. This is an absolute catastrophe for the championship leader. Look at William Duncan. He loses the 3rd position to Jake Stevens. And the 18 car, who really looked like he was in position to fight for the win last week in Barbagallo, wants redemption after being on the wrong strategy. Jeffrey Finguy on the move in the 92. Just turned the fastest lap of the race that time by, and that lap would have won him pole for the race. That was faster than the pole lap. Big run for the 92.
Yeah, Finguy Saito cars great on the big speedways. They keep showing it now.
As we see Crown approaching the top 5 here, in the 9th position, chasing after Scott Roush and Louviere, but he might be vulnerable to Kyle Boschelli if he's not careful here. Finguy up to the back of the 28 already, as Mitchell Carter and company all hound the back of the 66 of William Duncan. Down the back straightaway, Louviere cutting underneath Carter into turn 3. Can he keep it alongside? Yes, he can. The McDonald's 83 gets alongside for 5th place, as Daniel Giroux takes 4th away from William Duncan. Louviere tries to charge the corner, diamonds it a bit, cuts underneath Roush, who cuts underneath Carter. 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Preferred line to Louviere if they can't clear him. 4 wide! Kyle Boschelli cuts underneath into turn 3! Cannot believe he just attempted that, and it's gonna work! He gets all of them on the exit of turn 4!
Oh, that is a move that you could only pull off if you were a rookie.
Only a move of somebody who has nothing left to lose this season is somebody that pulled that move off. Louviere now under pressure from Roush as he held off the 27 of Pagelia. He's trying to hold off the 6 of Roush, and he holds it on the outside of 3 and 4. That 83 car looks stout in the opening laps of this race as Mark continues to lead Finguy. Some real heart-in-your-throat moment stuff right there. Really bad run for Tristian Wilhoit right now. He just got himself back into the top 5 in the championship with a strong run in Barbagallo, but a 30, oh my goodness gracious, Ryan Reid. Could Yuki Tamara be getting slightly bailed out here? Ryan Reid is all the way back here. Unbelievable. I'm not sure why Hujian and company are so far back. I almost wonder if there was almost a crash on the restart that held a bunch of people up. Because they are quicker than the cars ahead, so it's not like they're just that slow. There's something happened. I'm not sure. We'll have to go back and look eventually when we get the chance. Chris Louviere on William Duncan for 5th place. The top 5 already in sights of the man who's been so incredible on the big speedways this season. And he knows there's blood in the water. There's a championship on the line now with the faltering of both Tamara and Reid in this race. Finguy continues to hound the back of the 28, keeping his quarters extremely close. And the 90 just looks flat slow. He's falling off the back of the field now. And Ryan Reid, in a race in which he could have stamped a 90-point lead or more on Yuki Tamara leaving this event, He might not even take a position from her right now. He's only 5 spots ahead of her in the running order, which would only put him 10 points plus on her in this race, and she'd still be behind her right now, which would be absolutely ridiculous. It has just not been the last couple weekends for that 90 crew. Giroux, on Stevens, into turn 1, thinks better of it, cannot get the run on the entrance to the corner. Scott Roush, on the move. He's kind of been overshadowed by all of his teammates this season for the most part, but don't let it be forgotten that arguably he should have 2 wins on the season on the short tracks already this year, with 2 extremely unlucky under caution incidents at both Nashville and Myrtle Beach. Roush, though, chasing the back of the 83. Jeff McLennan's up to 13th place. This is another important points day for another championship contender, especially in front of his home crowd. Man, you just have to feel for every one of every member of that crew on the 60 crew right now. They prepared all week for this. They brought one of the best cars in qualifying. Oh my goodness, it's just there's just no words to say other than you just hope that it doesn't stop the momentum that 60 already had. You hope that it's a driving force towards trying even harder than she was before. We've seen
now they have to just watch on as their title rivals just continue their race, hoping that however the card's been full, you cover.
Yep. Louviere makes the move for 5th on William Duncan, up into the top 5 now for the McDonald's 83. A point lead is on the cards already. Louviere would be the point leader if the race ended right now. It would be his first time in the championship lead in his entire WTSS career of just over a season and a half. It would be an incredible moment for the Maverick driver. And I believe would make him the 3rd different Maverick Motorsports driver to be in the top 2 in the championship this season at some point. Ryan Reid and Tristian Wilhoit, 2 of the early protagonists in this championship run, especially Reid, led the championship for almost 20 races straight. And in a race where he absolutely could have just tied a bow on his championship run and got himself a massively good 70, 80, 90 point lead. The 90 is struggling. They have not brought their A game today. I don't know if it's driver, team, or maybe a combination of both, but right now, the team members on that 60 crew at Yuki Tamara's crew, they really don't want to admit it, but they're silently smirking to themselves about everything that's going on with the 60, knowing that it's not going to be as big of a headache as it could be.
But again, there is still quite a bit of race left.
There absolutely is. It just doesn't look like they've got race pace on that 66 of Duncan. Looks like that thing was all qualifying trim. He's not terrible, though. He's still maintaining a top 10 position, but it just looks like another side effect of what we've been seeing from the Maverick cars this season. We saw it at Barbagallo with Tristian Wilhoit when he was the leader for the longest time. Just no oomph on the straights from the 66. The same cannot be said for Chris Louviere, so it's obviously a bit of a setup tuning thing on the 66 that probably got him the pole, but in terms of actual on-track battles with other cars, it just doesn't, it's not viable currently with the people he's around. Man, DJ Curtis looks fast. We have not seen speed out of that 54 for a majority of this season, but that he is climbing up the order, and he's chasing down this three-way fight for 3rd place. Speaking of three-way fight for 3rd place, it's a three-way fight for 3rd place because these 2 up ahead are half a second a lap faster than the rest of the field. Mitchell Mark and Jeffrey Finguy are absolutely checked out and gone right now, and without another intervention in this race, I have a hard time finding any way somebody else could get themselves into this battle without a caution or some sort. Because if we're going to go to the normal pit cycle window, which we would if we go green for the rest of this run, that's going to be another 30 laps of these guys being the fastest cars on the racetrack. And it's already a 6-second gap right now. I could see it being 12, 13 seconds, depending on the tire fall off around this track. As TJ Curtis takes 5th away from Chris Louviere while we were talking about that. That 54 car is fast, but comparing the lap times to the top two, he's not faster than them. And I don't know if that's just a matter of Jake Stevens having a lot of straight line speed and is just holding everybody up. We'll just have to find out over these next few laps if Curtis has got what it takes to go up there and take it. Jake Stavinoha just finally put himself in the championship picture, entering this race 4th in the points, which is something that he has never done before, is enter the top 5 in the championship. And right now, 21st place would be a decent points day to gain on Yuki Tamara, but he's going to lose a lot of ground to Chris Louviere, who's directly in front of him in the championship coming into this race. Look at the 54 of Curtis. Is he going to go bottom 3 into turn 3 here on Stevens and Giroux? No, he can't, because Giroux doesn't stay alongside the 18. But Curtis is absolutely sailing up the order, and he's underneath the 18 of Stevens, but the question being, can he hold it as they run down to turn 1?
I think maybe that Louviere could use him as a pick here.
Absolutely could be a good chance for the 83 to make up for lost time, but Giroux trying to squeeze the middle between the 54 and the 18. He clears Curtis into turn 3. And he now cuts underneath the 18. Daniel Giroux, race winner at Indianapolis and Myrtle Beach. One of the strongest rookies on the calendar on the year. Underneath Jake Stevens into turns 1 and 2. Stays alongside his fellow rookie. On the exit, Stevens will get the run. But if he can't clear the 2 before turn 3, it's going to be all she wrote. Not quite. Can't clear, but also was not vulnerable. Incredibly close battle for 3rd place right now. Jake Stevens maintains it, but Curtis, using that outside lane to his advantage, goes around the outside of the 2 of Daniel Giroux.
Trying to fight back on the inside, but the outside has been very good this race.
Yeah, drivers can make the outside work as Finn Guy cuts underneath the 28 of Mitchell Mark for the lead, lap number 37. Now the question is, how strong can he hold it on the inside of 1, if at all? And it looks like that 92 does not look good on the inside at 1 and 2 in the slightest, and has to concede to the 28 for the time being. But he is already showing Mitchell Mark that he is there and he is ready to take the lead from him on a moment's notice, as Curtis, with an incredibly strong exit off of turn 2, looks underneath the 18 of Jake Stevens. And I think this one, for real, is all she wrote as they come through the middle of the corner and Curtis clears the 18 on the exit. It'll be really interesting to see if Curtis in clean air is possibly as fast as, if not faster than the top 2. He looks really quick, has made it through the field, and has made it look easy in doing so. Man, the 45 of Arnie Negroho, something is up on that Toyota. He is just not looking fast. He's so far off the pace. He doesn't have any visual damage on the car. It just must be one of those deals where they messed the setup up that bad. There he goes again. Finn Guy peeking underneath the 28. It almost feels like Mark's car is getting worse as the run is continuing. It's making it easier for Finn Guy to make moves. Exit of 4, once again, 92, peeking inside.
Or Finn Guy just has a better car on the long run.
Could be a combination of both, too. Inside into turn 1, he keeps it right on the bumper of the 28. Exit of 2, with the run. They break even on the exit into 3 now. Finn Guy peaks low.
Not enough.
Not enough that time. Mark getting a bit wise to his moves. But that means that the Turn 1 Motorsports crew are going to have to absolutely nail their pit stop if he can keep ahead until then. Mark with a better 1 and 2 that time. They're going to catch the 45 of Nugroho shortly. Louviere is inside on Jake Stevens for the 5th position right now, and he gets a great run on the exit of 2 on the inside lane. That 83 car has been a very versatile piece today, and he clears before they even get to the halfway point of the corner. Roush now attempting to make a move on the 83. He's going to be down the inside at turn 1. But Louviere easily clears into the corner. Fenguy versus Mark continues on out front. They're going to catch the 45 of Nugroho in a very brief amount of time. He's going to be the only lapper they face for quite some time as well. But one of the cars they're going to encounter for lap traffic eventually is going to be Ryan Reid in the 90 as Wilhoit dives inside 3 on Wang Zawad in test car up ahead. Oh, and Chris Dodd's day just gets worse. They're reporting a fuel leak on the 8, and that's going to end their day, most likely. Very difficult to replace or repair a fuel cell in a stock car. Something that's just going to take too much time. They're probably just going to retire the car. As Dodd peels into the pits, already with a tire failure earlier on. It's just not been his day, and the man who won the season opener at Canadian Tire has just been unable to find any joy for the rest of this year for the most part. And out he goes. Yep, fuel leak. Unfortunate. Scott Roush inside on the 18 of Jake Stevens there for the 6th position. That 6 car making moves. He does not get a good run on the inside of 1 and 2, though, and might be vulnerable to Roberto Crown Jr. in the Fenguy Saitomi 46. Ooh, he covers it. He defends into turn 3 and forces Crown to the outside, which he is not able to take advantage of. And there he is. Arnie Nugroho right in the way of the leaders. What do you do? It's going to be the only traffic they encounter for quite some time, so... And the 57 of Mark Nutt has blown a tire in the middle of turns 3 and 4, up in the middle lane. And he's going to come to a stop on the banking right ahead of the race leaders. Caution is going to come out. They're going to get him off the racing line just in time on the exit of turn 2, not the exit of turn 4. That's going to allow Fenguy down the inside as the 28 had to check up. Coming to the caution flag. Jeffrey Fenguy underneath Mitchell Mark. Jeffrey Fenguy is going to take the lead coming to the yellow. Fenguy leads at Calder Park. Using the lapper as a pick. Getting past the lapper before they get to the line. And Jeffrey Fenguy leads at Calder Park. And
yeah, not only he leads, but he's going to have Nugroho on the inside
on that restart. Yes,
and that'll be some insurance.
It will be for sure on that 92. And look at the gap that they had. They had a 9.8 second lead over third place. It is evaporated. If there was any moment for the rest of the field to stake their claim on this race, it would be right now.
Not going to be right now. Fenguy gets a massive gap.
I'm more so talking about pit road adjustments. If there was any moment that a pit road adjustment would matter, it would be right now.
Absolutely.
Because if it was a green flag pit cycle, with Fenguy and Mark having a 15-second lead, yeah, a pit road adjustment would matter if you got a way better car, but you'd have to spend that whole time chasing him down. Now you're right on their wheel tracks. We've seen some races in the past, drivers taking 2 tires on stops like these, but Not today. Tire deg is a little bit higher than on a normal track. Finn guy out of the pits first, of course. Then it's Mark. Giroux will come out third. Curtis. Louviere. Oh, wow. Oh, I can't believe that wasn't contact between Bichelia and Duncan there on the exit. Mitchell Carter with a slow stop in the 69.
All the way to the back.
And Mark Nutt rejoins the race a lap down. Or multiple laps down, actually, as Nugroho peels to the pits now in the 45. And after the pit cycle, the running order is Jeffrey Finguy, Mitchell Mark, Daniel Giroux, DJ Curtis, and Chris Louviere, the top 5. Then it's Roberto Crown Jr., Patrick Smith, William Duncan, Kyle Bichelia, and Sebastian Van Dale in the top 10. An extremely slow stop for Jake Stevens and Scott Roush to put them outside of the top 10. Finguy leads at Calder Park now. Let's get to the restart. Under caution, right before the restart, we have another right before the restart engine failure. Kyle Bichelia from 9th place is out of the race before he even gets a chance to see what the second half of this event looks like. The pace car is going to pull in momentarily for the restart. If that 27 car comes to a stop right after we take the green, there's nothing we can do about it, and we'll draw another caution. So the whole field is hoping Bichelia can get back to the pits in a timely manner. But we're
Looks
coming
like he
back to the
will.
restart. Everybody's kind of out of sync. Finguy is the race leader now over Mitchell Mark. We're back underway at Calder Park. A great restart from the 92. If he can clear the traffic and the rest of his rivals can't, that's going to be a massive advantage, and he does. He clears Mark Nutt and Arnie Nugroho into turn 1.
That is massive.
And Bichelia makes it back to the pit lane. We will have our restart. Mark Nutt, though, we don't know what that car is capable of at the front of the field. He could end up being an actually solid car that Finguy has to actually contend with trying to unlap himself here. Whatever was wrong with the 45 of Nugroho seems to be remedied. He's holding his own against the 28 of Mark into turn 1, but Mark ultimately has the better package and clears on the entrance to turn 1 with Curtis coming out in third and Louviere swinging around the outside of the 45. Ah, not quite. But Giroux is not going to be able to get down the inside of the 45 either. Or will he? Oh, man. Exit of 4. Louviere's on the top 3. Not the restart the 83 would have wanted, but he maintains his position inside the top 10 nonetheless. Outside on Patrick Smith and Roberto Crown Jr. goes the 83 now, as Nugroho finds himself getting absolutely swallowed alive by the cars around him. Crucially, Louviere clears Crown Jr. into turn 3 there and stops the bleeding. Mitchell Mark now down the inside on the lapper of Mark Nutt. And it looks like a couple restart violations were issued for Cale Teskar Jr. and Mitchell Carter. So they're at the back of the field now. Mark unable to clear the 57 of Nutt yet. Now Curtis to the outside into 1. Initiating the pass. Looking to the right, to the left rear of the 28. Gets the run on the exit on the top. Gives second place to DJ Curtis. Big move for the 54. Louviere has gotten back into the groove now after a slightly sloppy restart. In 5th place, chasing Giroux for 4th. Is Arnie Nugroho about to re-overtake the 28 of Mitchell Mark? Unbelievable. You'd think that was a different car completely, that they pulled out the backup car during the pit cycle. That thing was nearly a second a lap slower than the leaders before. Oh, and Allison Figueroa with a massive engine failure in the 98. She tries to get down to the pit lane. Contact is made, and she is spun up the racetrack into the path of Logan Hill, and the caution's going to come back out again here at Calder Park. Unreal scenes today. Oh, wow. Teskar barely misses the 98 on the way past. The yellow is back out. And Figueroa, who was top 15 in points coming into this race, you can almost say that that is signed, sealed, and delivered. Her last chance at getting herself back into the title picture. Over. And another Roush Racing Enterprise Campus engine failure today, with Yuki happening earlier. Oh, split strategies here at Calder Park. Split strategies. Two tire stops.
Few cars.
Everybody in the pits for 2 tire stops. Every single car pitting is taking 2. Absolutely scattered throughout the pit lane. Curtis comes out. The first car out of the pits. Slow stop for the 92 of Finguy. Nugroho with a slow stop, and I think that's a sigh of relief for a lot of people that just happened. Alright, here's the landscape of what we have now. Daniel Giroux has stayed out. He is the race leader. Then it's Scott Roush, Aiden Shepard, the top 3. Bobby Frazier and Eugene DeMax, the top 5. Brandon Crasta, Mitchell Carter, and Cale Teskar Jr., 2 lappers right behind. 6 cars stay out, and 2 lappers. 6 cars are staying out, and I believe this is to go to the end on fuel, or at least attempt it. Now, I don't know how far they're going to be able to stretch the fuel on those cars, but I have my doubts, but we'll just have to wait and see. The top 6 stay out under this caution while everybody else pits for 2 tires. It's Giroux, Roush, Shepard, Frazier, DeMax, and Crasta. Then out of the pits, it was Curtis, Mark, Finguy, Louviere, Crown Jr., Duncan, Van Dalen, Smith, Stevens. We're under caution once again here at Calder Park. Let's go back and look and see what happened to bring out the 3rd yellow of the day. You can just see down the back straightaway right there, engine grenades on the 98. She knows she's in close proximity to the pits. Tries to find a gap, hopes that there's an opening, but it's just premature. Rookie mistake from Figueroa to try and force a gap throughout the field and not just wait until the exit of 4 to cut down to the pit lane. And ultimately, those involved are just innocent bystanders, including Logan Hill, who got the biggest piece of it. And Allison Figueroa's hopes and dreams of a rookie championship going up in smoke with 4 races left in the season. There must be something in the air in Calder Park here in Australia, because once again, I'm coming back to you before the restart because we have another engine failure, and it's the 17 of Tristian Wilhoit, who comes into this race 5th in the championship, and Maverick Motorsports' mechanical woes continue. Their 21st mechanical failure on the season for the team since their switch to Subaru, and this is ultimately going to be, in my opinion, the last nail in the coffin for the Season 4 champions' title hopes. The rest of the field comes around off turn number 4. Daniel Giroux, the leader. Remember, the top 6 all stayed out under that caution in an attempt to stretch the fuel to the checkered flag with nothing to lose. Giroux takes us back to green, and we're back underway at Calder Park, and immediately those top 6 drivers are being attacked by some of the leaders. Round the outside at 1. Both Giroux and Roush are going to get alongside Mitchell Carter on the exit and clear him without issue. Mark Nutt's cutting down the inside 3 wide. That's 4 position with Cale Teskar Jr., so he's going to want that, and he gets it down the inside. Brandon Crasta struggling on the restart. He's already been overtaken by DJ Curtis, who's in the middle 3 wide between Bobby Frazier and lapper Arnie Nugroho. Look at Mitchell Marks swing to the outside and get a crucial track position move. Giroux leads off a 2. Top 3, all on an alternate strategy. Same with 4th place to Max, but into the top 5 now is DJ Curtis. Shepard inside on Roush now for 2nd place. Wow, big moves going on throughout the field. Off of 2 we go. Off of 4 we go. Chris Louviere now trying to clear the 45 of Nugroho. He's effectively 3rd place on the primary strategy drivers that took tires under that caution and took an extra splash of fuel. How about Roush in the 6 car? He's got Aiden Shepard down his inside into turn 3. Shepard unable to maintain alongside down to turn number 1. He tries to keep it in. Roush, though, is going to dig deep on that preferred line and keep it on the exit. Curtis inside on test car now to make up another, not position, but get another spot in track position towards the front. Nugroho struggling with the rest of the field trying to find a way past him. Louviere on Mitchell Mark. That is for position, and even if those top 6 drivers that took the restart on the alternate strategy can't make it, that's for position still. It's going to be a big moment if he can get that. Off at turn number 2 we go. Oh, Louviere can't quite get down the inside of the 28 there, but he peeks inside on the exit of turn 4, side by side for what will be effectively 2nd place later on in this race, if they end up on the correct strategy. The top 3 are under a blanket, though, on that alternate strategy. Giroux, Roush, and Shepard. Then a distant 4th for DeMax, with then DJ Curtis leading the secondary strategy. Off of 4 we go. Mark Nutt looks quick. He looks quicker than these guys on the alternate strategy. I would imagine so with fresher tires. Three wide into turn 1. Almost contact between Hu Ji-yeon and Alex Binyako. I can't believe that 49's as high up as it is. Hu Ji-yeon was at the back of the field at the end of the first restart. Literally the last car running. And as we come off of turn 4 to complete lap number 70 of this race, she's battling for a top 15 out there. Unbelievable, remarkable stuff for the Season 2 champ. She may not be in the championship shout anymore, but that's the drive of a champion right there. As Ryan Reid is making up ground, forward progress for the title hopeful. At this rate, he might lead the race point leader over Chris Louviere now. Would be a big moment for him to get that championship lead back and try to get the momentum rolling again. Reid to the top 3 wide. Could be putting himself vulnerable now. This huge pack of cars back here. Finguy and Duncan's battle have waged on. Give the spot to the 92. Now what do you do? It's going to be close to 50 to go this in just a couple laps time. Ryan Reid through the middle 3. The 45 is not for position, the 50 is. He gets the spot. He's 21st now. Finguy and Duncan's cars have completely fallen off a cliff performance-wise. They have dropped down the order. And the 92 that looked so strong early on, you almost have to wonder if these cautions have completely thrown that team's rhythm off and they possibly got an adjustment wrong as a result. Look at DeMax. Inside on Carter. This is not for position. This is to clear traffic. But that 69 car remains completely elusive and has been extremely slippery with the lead lappers so far. Really trying to stretch out whatever he can left out of that car, but oh man, Mark not inside on Aiden Shepard. Trying to unlap himself, get one of his laps back, not quite. Color me surprised, but these alternate strategy drivers have actually flown away, and I almost have to wonder if that's the difference in weight in fuel between these cars. Or maybe they know they can't make it, and they're just pushing flat out, hoping for a yellow later on that will get them on the same strategy with everybody else. I don't know. It's going to be close, I think. Not a lot of movement amongst the leaders here over the last few laps. Almost as if people are biding their time, waiting for the moment to make these moves. Like that there's not a real sense of urgency going on right now. It would be really interesting to find out what is going on behind the scenes with some of these teams. Aiden Shepard, though, does not look to be waiting around with Scott Roush and the 42 all over the back of the number 6 car. Big move, Bobby Frazier. Lapping the lap down number 26 car of Cale Teskar Jr. to get better track position and try and stay ahead of Mitchell Mark, who's all over the back of him now for that 6th position. As that allows Louviere, though, to peek down the inside of the 28 of Mark through 1 and 2. On the exit, Mark gets the run off, but Louviere stays alongside in the 83. This could be for effective P2 into turn 3. Oh, on the exit, give the position to Chris Louviere. On Mitchell Mark, and now the 28 is going to be under pressure from the 81 of Sebastian Van Dalen, but Louviere's not done with him yet. Mark swings back to the outside into turn 1. Momentum now to the 28 on the exit. He's going to clear back ahead of the 83. Amazing what you can do with both lanes around here. Giroux is checking out front. There really seems to be no fuel conservation going on amongst the leaders. Giroux on the exit of 4 now with a almost 1 second gap over Roush and Shepard. Louviere tries again on Mark into turn 1. Can't get alongside as far as he wants this time. Gonna be 40 laps to go this time. And it'll be really interesting to get inside the heads of the drivers still out there trying to stretch it. I'm seeing DJ Curtis, Jeffrey Finguy, and Mitchell Mark all did not take tires on that last stop. Everybody else took 2 as Shepard cuts underneath the 6 of Scott Roush for second place. This is the farthest alongside he's gotten. Into 1 though, preferred line for Roush, who's been really strong around the outside of 1, and he keeps it once again. Louviere still on the 28 of Mark. Now that we know with 2 fresher tires than the 28, makes sense his pace differential there. Shepard once again. Trying again on the 6, down to turn number 1. This time on the exit, he barely clears on-corner exit from Shepard. The 42 is really getting into that advantage that the 6 has laid out. And once again, he's going to peek underneath Roush on the exit of 4. But this time, he's not going to be as alongside. Alex Vignaco's taking 22nd from Ray Takeda back here. And Mark Nutt clears Aiden Shepard around the outside in turns 1 and 2 and separates the 6 and the 42. And the lapper trying to climb his way back up to one of his laps back. Next time around is going to be 35 laps to go at Calder Park. Daniel Giroux, the leader. Scott Roush in second. And now he's starting to etch back into that lead of the number 2 car. Now Mark Nutt trying to overtake the 6 of Roush, who is making actual gains on Giroux. It's down to a second once again. Louviere on Mark once more, into 1. 28 clears on entry. Louviere draws alongside in mid-corner. Huge run, middle of the turn for Chris Louviere. Roberto Crown Jr. gets his nose in there. Louviere clears before turn 3. Finally, a big move for the 83 to get done, and now he can set his sights on the cars with worse tires ahead of him. But he's got to be careful. Crown Jr. is right there. He could peek down the inside into 1. I just saw up ahead, Mark Nutt is alongside Scott Roush now. Won't do anything that time, but that's going to slow the 6 up. Now the gap almost stabilized actually there, even with that challenge from Mark Nutt. Scott Roush is still keeping the gap close. It's Daniel Giroux. Louviere, arguably the fastest car on the racetrack. He's just got to keep picking these cars off one by one. That was Mitchell Mark, who's a good car with worse tires. This is going to be Bobby Frazier, who's a worse car with worse tires than the 83. Theoretically, it should be an easier job for Louviere to get this done. Roberto Crown Jr., though, might make a headache out of it, though. 30 laps to go here at Calder Park. Giroux with a 1.1 second lead over Scott Roush. Make that 1.2. Crown Jr. still all over the back of the 83, not making it easy for him to focus on the car, the 96 out in front. Mark Nutt once again hurrying up the 6 of Scott Roush. Inside on the 6. Roush goes. Stays alongside. Can't clear. Shepard fires one down the inside of the 57 to try and get back his track position to go and try to chase after Roush. And Louviere tries to peek underneath the 96 of Frazier and does alongside him now. Frazier tries to keep ahead into 1. Louviere gets a good corner, but he can't keep it on the inside. The 96 stays 6th for the time being. Gonna begin triple-digit laps this time. It's soon to be 25 to go after that. What do you got left? Do you have enough gas in the tank if you're a Daniel Giroux, a Scott Roush, Aiden Shepard, Eugene DeMax, Bobby Frazier, even Brandon Crasta in the 63 trying to make it? Giroux's now up to a 2.2 second lead. No conservation on that car. Maybe he just needed the clean air. Maybe his car's been good all day. He just needed the clean air. Big move. Sebastian Van Dalen on Mitchell Mark back here. That 28 is fading towards the end of this race. 25 laps to go for Daniel Giroux. The gap stabilizes at about 2.1 seconds as Ryan Reid attacks Jeffrey Finguy for the 20th position to try and get a top 20 out of the day at the very bare minimum. But he might put himself vulnerable to Alex Pignacco attempting that move. Oh man, the 90 just not finding anything today. Louviere tries again on Bobby Frazier. Giroux flying away right now. Louviere still trying with Bobby Frazier. Just gets tight, too close to the 96 on corner entry. Almost 3 seconds now for Giroux. If there's any worry of fuel conservation, it doesn't appear to be on the mind of the number 2 crew at all. Off at turn 4. Off at turn 2. Louviere is still struggling to find a way past the 96 of Bobby Fraser. Should these select 6 that stayed out under the caution not be able to make it right now, DJ Curtis is in a prime position. Oh, there he goes, Mark Nutt on Scott Roush to unlap the 57 from the 6. This is the best shot he's had at doing so. And even then, he's only able to pull alongside the 6. Side by side down to 1. And we all know how this story's going to end. That 6 car is so strong around the outside at turn 1. Nutt hangs alongside, though, through the middle of the corner. Door to door on the exit at 2. Is this the moment where Mark Nutt finally unlaps himself from the 6 of Scott Roush and maybe puts Aiden Shepard within a shout of taking second place away? Oh, Roush is going to be fuming over the radio at that. Aiden Shepard to second.
Oh.
16 laps to go at Calder Park. If the fuel can hold out, Daniel Giroux is going to get his 3rd win of his rookie season. And another one in a double points race, just like at Indianapolis. Oh, almost contact off of turn 2. Angritz and Patrick Smith going at it. What those leaders don't want to see is a caution. Especially right now, because it would end up a single file restart with no lappers on the inside to help them. Louviere, if he can clear Bobby Fraser, he's got a real good chance at catching up to at least the battle for 4th. But Curtis, the leading driver of the primary strategy, in 5th place. This is our longest green flag run of the race, and we're really starting to see the tire fall off come effect now. 14 to go. Giroux with a 3.1 second lead. He's the only one in the field still running in the 29s right now. Everybody else is 30.0 or worse. And that could just be that clean air. That 2 car had not found clean air all day. And maybe it was just a case that he needed to get it and they just gave it to him and now he's running. DeMax trying to put the 69 of Mitchell Carter a lap down into turn 1. Stays alongside that car into turns 1 and 2. Unable to clear the 69 on the exit of 2. Carter stays ahead. That's got to be frustrating. As Louviere finally gets alongside and clears the 96 of Bobby Fraser for 6th place on the road. 3 wide for 7th place. Fraser, Crown Jr., and Mitchell Mark on the bottom. Crown Jr. covers off the 28. Gets alongside Fraser through 1 and 2. Every move Louviere's made, Crown Jr.'s made at the next lap, and it looks like it might stay the same again. DeMax still hounding the back of Carter to try and put him a lap down. And it does! Crown Jr. clears the 96 of Bobby Fraser. The trend continues. Curtis now trying to get 4 position on Eugene DeMax. Into turn 3 we go. Nearly gets alongside on the right rear quarter panel. 10 laps to go for Daniel Giroux. Can he make it? Louviere is close enough to Curtis now that he could really be putting pressure on that 54 for the eventual race lead, should those 6 drivers not be able to make it on fuel. Crown Jr., though, with the run down the back straightaway. Not going to be able to generate enough of a run on Louviere to make the move, but he's there. He's making his presence known. And I'm seeing triple right now through 3 and 4 as the 3 Rocket Atkinson teammates are nose to tail. A 10, 11, 12 would probably be one of their best overall results in almost over half a season almost. Giroux is about to catch an almighty cluster of lap traffic up ahead. And Aiden Shepard is etching into that lead. It's now down to 1.9 seconds. Back up to 2.1 right now, but he's cut a second out of Giroux's lead nonetheless. And traffic will not help that. Eugene DeMax back underneath Mitchell Carter to try and put that 69 car lap down. And I think he's finally going to clear him off of turn 4. So DeMax now has clean air ahead as Louviere cuts underneath Cale Tescar Jr. to try and make it no cars in between himself and the 54 of DJ Curtis. Curtis cuts underneath the 69 of Carter on the exit of 2, though. Can Tescar clear Louviere into 3? He tries. He succeeds. Tescar stays ahead. Curtis tries to clear Carter and does. 5 laps to go for Daniel Giroux. 3 wide into turn 1. Carter on the outside. Curtis in the middle. Tescar on the bottom. Louviere gets Tescar on the exit of 2. He gets loose, though. Tescar might fire it back down the inside. He will. Louviere tries to dig deep to cut underneath Carter, and he might just do so. Lap traffic has been encountered by Daniel Giroux now. He is fully in the thick of the traffic now. Three wide right in front of him. The 2 just holds the bottom. There's really nothing more you can do. Stays patient. Doesn't make any drastic moves. There's only 3 to go. He doesn't have to do this for much longer. Has Ditech pulled off one of the most brilliant strategy calls of the season? Will Giroux make it? 2 laps to go this time for the Reese's number 2 car. Shepard gains 7/10 that lap. It's not going to be enough, though, to catch him. The white flag is falling this time around for Daniel Giroux. It'll be 1 lap to go for the Audi driver. Shepard closes in, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Can Giroux hang on? 1 more lap to do it. Shepard's cut it down to 1.5 seconds, but it looks like it's too little too late. Off a 2 for the last time. 6 drivers stayed out on the last caution of the day. They chose right. The track position is theirs, and no one was able to pass the 2 of Daniel Giroux, who comes down the front straightaway, and the rookie gets his 3rd win of the season here at Calder Park. 2nd place will go to Aiden Shepard, Scott Roush, Eugene DeMax, and DJ Curtis, the top 5. Louviere might be the point leader now with that 6th place finish. Roberto Crown Jr., Bobby Frazier, and Mitchell Mark, and Wongzawat at the line, stealing 10th from teammate Sebastian Van Dalen. Bolden, Stevens, Constantine, and Engritz, the top 15. Championship contenders. In the running order, Ryan Reid finishes 23rd, Sean Angel is 28th, McLennan is 29th, Stavinoha is 30th, Wilhoit with the engine failure in 35th. Yuki Tamara, the championship leader with her engine failure, in 39th. An absolute disaster for half of the title hopefuls. But in a day where he knows he's not in the title fight, he's just here for race victories, Ditech Van Dalen had nothing to lose, and they played the ultimate risky strategy to get the track position and ultimately the race victory. And on a day where everybody was focusing on the title race, they may have focused too hard and let a bunch of drivers who had nothing to lose get underneath the strategy game. Congratulations to Daniel Giroux, your winner here at Calder Park. We'll see you next race for the 28th round of WTSS Season 7 at the Phillip Island Raceway in Victoria, Australia.